little bit harder questions now. So this is more sharing with the audience. What would you say are your top, do you have like your top 3 interview questions that you kind of go to all the time? I know some people do when you're utilizing PI.
So I'm a very relaxed interviewer. I was actually just interviewing someone before I came down here, and I'm not a like rigid interviewer. I like to put people at ease so that they can give me their best answers, and I don't want them to feel stressed while they're in that situation. And just with the PIs that we hire around here for our jobs, a lot of them are lower Bs, so they're not going to give you that like rock star interview because they're nervous. Like they're high Ds, they're low, like they're just not the most. They're not a high B. They're not going to give you that superstar answer, that superstar interview, but they're going to give you what you need. You just have to listen for it. So I really keep that in mind when I'm interviewing for different roles. Now, if I'm interviewing a salesperson and they're like that, that's a problem. But for our technical roles here, like that's what we're looking for. I've lost what the actual question was.
Just any.
Yes.
Top
what
3.
do I ask?
It's
so
actually number 3 right
got
there.
It. So I do
Still
a
on
lot
task.
Of.
Believe it or not.
I do a lot of tell me about ... type of questions, so that they're not giving me just yes or no answers. I know our jobs pretty well here, and I should. So I'm able to think about the type of scenarios and situations that role is going to be in. So I ask them to come up with answers and give me examples, which I think is the best way for them to tell us who they are as a person. So tell me about you questions, or tell me about a scenario questions. And then otherwise, I just kind of sit back and let the manager lead that, because I feel like they're going to ask the technical questions that they really know. Like, I'm an HR person. I am not an insurance person. I came from the healthcare industry. I didn't know any of the technical questions on that side either, so I leave that to my experts. And I'm kind of the character witness to see, how they answer the questions. Are they articulate? And I'm a gut girl. When I interview, I really go with my gut on whether I think someone's going to be a good fit or not. And I feel very responsible for our culture here at Babb and bringing in the people that I know are going to fit with that team, with our overall culture here. And I take that into very large consideration. If they're not a cultural fit, even if their PI is, on target, they're not going to be the right fit for us. And I don't want to have to be rehiring for that role in 3 months or 6 months when it doesn't work out.
How about you? Any faves?
So one of mine, and Ashley's really strongly in the hiring process, but I really just like to find out about the person, because then you can start to match up their PI and then the role itself. And Riley is the one sitting in the room who I recently interviewed. But it was more or less, hey, tell me about yourself, and seeing if it actually aligns with what their PI says, because then you know if they're being genuine and what their true interests are. One of my mentor, he had actually shared, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What is going to continue to drive you to want to come to work, be excited to do your job, and every single day, and not get burnt out and worn out? And then, using that PI and seeing what the role that they're currently in, that self-concept, you can see, are they in a role that's okay for them? And then looking at, will it match up to the actual PI for the job? But that is one of my favorite, is really what gets you out of bed in the morning? Because that's just it. We want people who are aspiring, they're engaged, and they're ready to, come to work and run at it. So I'd say those are my favorites.
Does the answer my bladder count?
Well, I mean,
just checking.
Sure. We might put you in a different job.
Okay.